All right, but we are back at it again. Welcome, everybody, to another edition of the Rico Report. Listen, we are ourselves a morning. We have ourselves a morning. Well, a night. Because last night, if you guys have been perusing all over the social media, you heard news. There was news out there that changes were coming. And it had something to do with the receiver room. Well, folks, here it is. Keon Coleman has been put aside on the inactive list. New receiver Mecole Hardman, is going to be taking on return duties, potentially, thrown in there to be a receiver. And the old reliable, if you will, dependable, Mr. Gabe Davis has now been designated a roster spot, called up from the practice squad, and he will be active this afternoon versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But the biggest story of the day is Mr. Keon Coleman being put on the inactive list. Well, the news came out. Big shout out to Cover One. You got to give credit to where credit's due. They had the news. They put it out there. They said it with their chest and said, here's the news. Do what you want with that information. Well, here's the deal. It turns out it is factual that Keon Coleman has indeed been benched. Here's the deal. Why? Now, it was speculating because it came out last night that it was due to poor play, right? Due to hustle. You already heard it from McDermott talking about, yes, man, if I need to talk to somebody about their ability to show effort, then they'll talk about it. They'll know that we're not happy with it. It turns out that wasn't the reason. Now, some are saying, yeah, they're masking it for the real reason. The real reason is they're not happy with the way they're playing him. Nobody benches a second rounder out of nowhere unless they're actually dog poop. But that's not the case with Keon Coleman. The reason Keon Coleman was actually deactivated and put on the inactive list is because he missed a Friday morning meeting. See, that is what irks me. This is not your first stint, nor is it your second stint. You missed a first half last year against the Jags. You missed our first series this year against the Patriots, and now you miss another meeting on a Friday morning. See, this is my beef. There are countless athletes out there working their tails off to make it professionally. We do our 9-to-5 jobs, and then we have to go home and take care of the family or the dog, or you have to take care of loved ones. You've got responsibilities, right? Your sole responsibility, my friend, is to play the sport. Your sole responsibility is to show up to practice, show up to meetings, show up on Sundays, and perform. That's your job. They're paying you to do those things. And this is your third time not showing up, fam. That's a disrespect. Listen, that's a disrespect to your agent. That's a disrespect to the people around you. That's a disrespect to your teammates. You know it. They ain't nobody gonna tell you this. You've been hearing this since Pop Warner, hearing this since high school, collegiately, and now you're doing the same nonsense here in the league. Unacceptable. Unacceptable. We drafted you with a second-round draft pick. Fam, show up. Joe Brady calling plays and they're not using you properly. That's a whole nother ball game. That's a whole nother ball game. But the fact of the matter is you're not handling the things that you can handle, that it is in your power. That's just to show up. Show up, be there, and do your job. And now you're forcing the coach to have to answer for your dumbass responsibilities. It's your responsibility to show up. So now you got coach sitting here having to talk about, it's a coach's decision, and I had to make that. But why, coach? Why'd you make that decision? Now you putting him in a position where he's got to answer for your foolishness. That's incredible. Incredible. This is the stuff that Keon Coleman's got to grow up about. I don't know who's around you. I don't know who's in your corner, brother, but you got to grow up, fam. Like this is the league, man. And other teams are paying attention. Other agents are paying attention. Other coaches are paying attention. So if you don't get your act together and make it a, I guess, make it a priority for you to be there and show up, my brother, bro, it's going to be hard for you to get another gig elsewhere because they're going to know you're going to come with baggage. And the baggage is this guy don't care. It's not like you're an elite athlete and you're balling on the field and they can kind of let that slide. Those things aren't even happening either. So now you got the team having to now answer for your silliness and you not showing up. And now you on the inactive list on the sideline when you should be playing. You're a second-round draft pick. Now you next to Elijah Moore on the sideline. Nah, bro. And according to Ian Rappaport and Jordan Schultz, I believe his name is Jordan Schultz from Bleacher Report, they're mentioning that they had every intention to play Keon Coleman. This was not a performance issue. This was merely, we're sick of your ish. We're sick of your ish of not showing up when we need you to show up. And I'm sure of it, the effort, the lack of effort thereof, is what probably made this a much easier decision to make. You weren't even giving effort 100%. And then on top of that, you sitting here not showing up to practice. Are we talking about practice? Are we talking about meetings? That's all under one umbrella. And you ain't showing up. We talk about practice? Yes, we talk about practice. And this brother don't want to show up to those things, man. Late to practices, getting you not playing in the game. And that hurts you on the field. The Patriots game, you missed the first series. They throw you the football. The first reception you make, fumble. Brother, we got to get it together. We got to get it together. Now, I don't want to take this whole time talking about Keon Coleman, but that's a part that irks me because you're paid to literally play a children's game, a child's game. Just show up. Show up, man. Golly. All right. Moving on from Keon, right? Because he's gonna have to deal with that on his own. This guy's got a lot of things to answer for. But let me get a quick super chat coming in from my guy Scott Van Loo. What up, Scotty? Scotty says, "All right, Rico, how reliable do you think Gabe Davis is since he's been injured from the last year?" Second question: how do you think Hardman would do first start as a Bill? All right, he will be returning kicks. I assume he's going to be returning punts. And I assume they'll probably dabble him into returning kick returns as well. The guy's got speed. He's explosive. He just joined the team. There's only so much you can install and have him go onto the field. So will he produce for us a lot on the field? Doubtful. Now, if you're a good head coach and you're a solid offensive coordinator, you'll put in 5, maybe 7 plays for him these are the plays that I'm going to put you in for. When you're on the field, these are one of the 7 plays that's going to be on there. Be ready. This is your package. If they do that, that means, okay, we're going to try to get him. You know what I mean? Throw him deep one game. You know what I mean? One series, we're going to throw you in, and I'll tell you what you got to do. Hey, on this route, run a dig, 15-yard dig, go, break. All right? But his role will strictly be returning, and they'll sprinkle him in on offense. When it comes to Gabe Davis, from the footage and the footage alone, I didn't see anything that tells me he's ready, but I'm not in practice with these guys. So I can't tell you any more than that, but it just looked like he was taking it easy. How much we're going to see from him, who knows? So right now, your starters are Josh Palmer, which returns today, which I'm excited to see what he brings to the table. And there's going to be a lot of footballs going his way, I assume, which I think we all should. Shakir obviously is a little banged up, but he's going to be playing as well. Curtis Samuel gets to start over Elijah Moore, so we'll see how they deal with him. You got Kyle, you got Shavers, and then you got Gabe Davis, and then you got Mecole Hardman. There's your 6 right there. So Mecole returning kicks. Gabe Davis, who knows where he'll be? Maybe he takes on a bigger role at the X position, and he goes from there. Then you got, obviously, Josh Palmer. There's your 3. And then you got Khalil Shakir, Shavers, and Curtis Samuel. Who knows where they'll be, how much they'll use Gabe Davis. Your guess is as good as mine. I assume if you're elevating him and they had no, and here's another thing too. I don't think they had plans to elevate Gabe Davis. I think when they made the decision to bench Keon Coleman, Gabe Davis then got the elevation because apparently he wasn't supposed to play this week. Maybe next week But then they, you know what? Things happen. You're up. Are you ready? Yes, sir. So he's going to be playing. So they didn't have any intentions to play this, brother. Just keep that in mind. All right. I got another super chat coming in. Let me bring this down a little bit and let's jump into another super chat. By the way, big shout out to my man SA74, became a YouTube member. You know, I gotta you know what time it is. All right, let's roll. My man Young World, what up, Young World? With a super chat, I appreciate that, $20 right there. It's not like Keon plays in Miami or LA. Where is he at in Buffalo while he's missing these meetings? Yo, that's a good question. What are you doing? Did you sleep in? I mean, not that it matters. You missed it. You missed it. Maybe you were stuck in traffic. I don't know. Is there snow? Is there snow in Buffalo right now? To me, it looks like it's just pure rain. So was there an accident on the road? Who knows? You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't like he was late for the meeting. I think there's two conflicting reports here. He was late for a meeting or he didn't show up to the meeting. If you don't show up to the meeting, that's a whole nother ballgame. If the meetings are every Friday, cool. But if it was like a impromptu meeting and you didn't realize there was a meeting on Friday, you didn't get the memo, who knows? The point is you missed it. And I can't imagine a new meeting being put out there and you don't show up because nobody told you. Bruh, I ain't falling for that. So I don't know. One can only speculate, but yo, you're not in LA, you're not in Miami, you're in Buffalo. Everyone lives, I'm sure, in the Orchard Park area or the surrounding area. You ain't far, and you probably live in the subdivision next to your homies. So, yo, I ain't buying it. I'm not buying it. All right, let me go to my man Engrave. What up, Engrave? What's happening, bro? He goes, yo, what's up, Rico? Just checking in, my guy. Much love to you. My man Engrave is content creator for the Baltimore Ravens. That boy doing his thing. He's been doing his thing, and the Ravens are on the come up right now. I don't like that one bit, one iota. I don't like it because they're catching steam. So big shout out to my man Ravens, and we got a big game up against the Tampa Bay Bucks coming up. All right, here's what I want to jump into. I see my man Ravens like, yo, we coming for you. Oh, I need you all to chill out, bro. Chill out. I don't need you Ravens getting steam right now because the Bills right now. We asking questions right now. There was a point the Ravens were asking themselves questions, but it seems that the answers are there. They're answering the questions. We still got questions. So there's a big question mark today, and that's the Tampa Bay Bucks. How will we deal? Here's what we got a chance to talk about. Here's the deal. The inactive list. You saw what was on the inactive list. I don't gotta tell you much more about it. We see it. There's really not much to talk about. The big conversation is Keon, right? Elijah Moore being sat down, I found that fascinating. I didn't think that he would get sat down before you know who, but that's what it is. So if we're looking at what it's going to look like today on the field, here's the list. Let me give you guys a little quick snip and give you guys an idea. So the defensive line, Greg Rousseau, Javon Solomon, AJ Epinesa, Joey Bosa. Guess who's back? TJ Sanders, Larry Ogunjobi, Deion Walker, Daquan Jones, Jordan Phillips. We're getting healthy. I just don't like that Jordan Phillips is in there, but it is what it is. What are you going to do about it, right? On the inactive list, Keon, Elijah, Shaq Thompson. I really wanted Shaq Thompson to be playing this game, but guess what? We got to deal with who we got to deal with, and that's Terrell Bernard. Dorian Williams makes his return. Joe Andreessen and Matt Milano. Both Terrell Bernard and Matt Milano have been kind of they haven't been doing what they need to do. But if we get the boost that we need from the defensive front, hopefully allows the linebackers to do what they need to do. Taron Johnson, active. There was a question that he may not be active or may not even play at all, and as well as Cam Lewis, but they're both active. Both Cam Lewis and Taron Johnson will be active, ready to go. So we're looking forward to seeing how that all shakes out. By the way, that's the end of all the roster changes. What you're going to see is Dawson Knox will take most of the reps alongside Jackson Hawes, but we got Keleki Latu, the big 6'7", 6'8" tight end. That's going to be on the field as well. So keep an eye out for that and see how that all shakes out at the end of the day. All right. So I got another 10 minutes before I got to get out of here, before I let my man Pierre take on. What are we anticipating for this game coming up? I'll tell you what we need to see. This Buccaneers defense is middle of the pack. They're middle of the pack, actually on the back end. So there's opportunity for this Bills offense to really get in there and handle business. We certainly can. We can certainly run against them. They're not a very good run defense, and we can certainly pass against them. So if this is going to be a game where the Bills explode, this would be it. Now, you know who's in the way? Baker Mayfield and Emeka Egbuka. These boys, if we don't corral those two and slow them down a little bit, then we got some issues. But I believe that this Bills defense is prepared, and I think we're going to be able to handle these Bucs better than I was. I guess I could say better than I was wavering at the beginning of the week. I was like, we're playing the Bucs. I'm not sure. So until I started looking at the numbers, I was like, no. We have an opportunity now. They're both 6-3. They're both the Bucs are top of their division right now. The Bills are kind of, we got the Patriots running things right now. So we need to just handle our business, take care of the turnovers, do not turn the football over, get back to running the football, and let's get the ball. Take some shots deep. This is not an elite defense. Take the shots, man. So Palmer coming back, if you have to force him a little bit and make him become the number one receiver on the squad, so be it. We sometimes the dog, unless you hit the dog, he ain't gonna holler. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes you got to hit the dog a little bit to let him holler a little bit. So guess what? Throw that football to Josh Palmer. Let him. We gotta get something going, right? If Gabe Davis comes in and gives us a spark, fantastic. But here's who I need stepping up. Khalil Shakir, we give you a huge deal. Put your hand up and say, I want to be that guy. If you're not, man, move over and let somebody else take over. I need something. Palmer, that's the guy I've been waiting for all year round. I know he had a slow start to the season. I want him coming back. I want him having a huge game today. By huge, who knows what that means. But I need the focus to be this guy is our guy. That's what I need. I need him to be receiver one. And if we can sprinkle McCole Hardman in there, we can sprinkle some Dawson Knox. This should be great. Here's a silver lining for me before I get out of here. Familiar faces. Dawson Knox returns to his tight end one position. All right. I know he's not the athlete that Kincaid is, but there is familiarity between himself and Josh Allen. O-line is intact. James Cook returns a little healthier. He's 1 week healthier. What do we get from the rest of the guys? Khalil, we need you. You got familiar with Josh Allen. We need a little bigger step from you. And then Josh Palmer is the X factor in this one, right? You're returning. You're the guy we brought here to get separation to help Josh. Keon Coleman wasn't the guy that gets separation. Fine. I'll give you that. Palmer is, on the other hand. So find him early, get the offense rolling, and away we go. That's the only way I see us having big success today is if we take these chances and get this ball down the freaking field and let James Cook do what he does. Defense. Listen, just take the ball away, man. Take the ball away. They will give us the football. Baker Mayfield will take his chances. Bracket Egbuka. Tez Johnson does have speed. Keep things in front of you. We'll be all right. We'll be all right. All right, I got to get out of here because Pierre's got to come up next. So let me share what my sleeper picks are today. Are we excited for that? Because I need to show y'all what we're working with. So hang tight. Let me show you a little something before we get into this game, and then we'll get you out of here. So if you guys have not been able to get on the sleeper, get it. Listen, $20 entry. You don't got to sign up. You ain't got to do anything. No deposit reach needed. Do what you got to do. Get 100% match up to $100 using the code BF25. So what do we got going for today, ladies and gentlemen? What do you think we got going for today? Well, let me share you. I'm so glad you asked. Let me share what we got going today. So we got the Bills obviously going up against, hold on, let me switch things up a little bit so we know what's happening. We got the Bills going up against the Tampa Bay Bucks. What do we see? What do we want happening? Well, here's what it is. Let me just scroll on down. So we see we got James Palmer. I got James Palmer over 24.5 yards. Come on. Give me that. Give me more with the 24.5 yards. James Cook, anytime touchdowns, he better get in that end zone today. Give me the more. I'll take that. And last but not least, Emeka Egbuka. I have him on my fantasy team, so I need him to go off, but not too off. I mean, get your numbers, but I still want the dub from the Bills. So that being said, 59.5 yards and a tutty. I mean, I'm adding the tutty, but a 59.5 yards, I'll take that. Give me that. Yo, if you want to make a little scratch, this is where you got to jump into. Jump in there, get all over it, and we keep it cracking. So, folks, you guys already know what it is, man. Use that code BF25, and you get $100 match on your first deposit. Terms and conditions, you guys know, apply. See the sleeper terms for use of details. Currently operational in over 25 states. So, check your sleeper out today. So, that being said, I got to let you guys go because the Bills game is about to start. My man Pierre is going to jump on the live show. Get on there. If you guys appreciate the Argyle look that I'm going for, I just got back from church, so I have to jump right on there and get going. Appreciate you. Salute to you. Smash that like. If you guys If I missed any super chats, I hope I didn't. Oh, my man Led Robster, my bad. I can't let you just get out of there without that. My man says, I don't know which team is going to show up today. Kind of feel numb. That metaphorical, but Keon seems to be taking not showing up to literally. Well, we're about to find out. I actually feel good about this game, believe it or not. I actually feel really good about this game. We're about to find out where we stand. So, are we standing on business? I got a lot more to share afterwards. Let me just leave you with this. If things work out great, this is amazing, but not so much if you think about it, because if they work out great, or my man's sitting down on the sideline, the offense looks great, the ball is moving downfield, and we're scoring, and it looks like the old offense of old, that's a problem. It falls on Brandon Beane. Brandon Beane, you made a terrible decision on bringing this guy on. And then if he comes back and the offense is anemic again, then what is it? So it's a win for the Bills, but it's a loss for Beane. Any way you want to slice it, it's not a good look for Beane. Hopefully, there's a happy medium where lesson is learned by my man. We find ourselves offensively and we pushing the ball downfield. Keon returns, the offense remains the same. We start moving some things around, and then we're back on glory road, and we can start putting these wins together. But until it happens, our eyes are going to be peeled to the TV today to find out what kind of product that we're going to see on the field. All right, folks, that's my time. I appreciate you guys very much. You guys know what time it is. We're going to get to this game. Stay on and follow my guy, P Money. He's going to be live, direct, ready to go. So we'll catch you guys on the flip. I got to go, and we'll talk to you guys soon. Peace.